Cannery Row in Monterey in California is a poem, a stink, a grating noise, a quality of light, a tone, a habit, a nostalgia, a dream. Cannery Row is the gathered and scattered tin and iron and rust and splintered wood, chipped pavement and weedy lots and junk heaps, sardine canneries of corrugated iron, honky-tonks, restaurants, and whorehouses, and little crowded groceries, and laboratories, and flophouses. Its inhabitants are, as the man once said, whores, pimps, gamblers, and sons of bitches, by which he meant everybody. Had the man looked through another peephole, he might have said, saints and angels and martyrs and holy men, and he would have meant the same thing. Early morning is a time of magic in Cannery Row. In the gray time after the light has come and before the sun has risen, the row seems to hang suspended out of time in a silvery light. The street lights go out, and the weeds are a brilliant green. The corrugated iron of the canneries glows with the pearly lucence of platinum or old pewter. No automobiles are running then. The street is silent of progress and business, and the rush and drag of the waves can be heard as they splash in amongst the piles of the canneries. It is a time of great peace, a deserted time, a little era of rest. Cats drip over the fences and slither like syrup over the ground to look for fish heads. Silent early morning dogs parade majestically, picking and choosing judiciously whereon to pee. The seagulls come flapping in to sit on the cannery roofs to await the day of refuse. They sit on the roof peaks, shoulder to shoulder. From the rocks near the Hopkins Marine Station comes the barking of sea lions like the baying of hounds. The air is cool and fresh. In the back gardens, the gophers push up the morning mounds of fresh, damp earth, and they creep out and drag flowers into their holes. Dora is a great woman, a great big woman, with flaming orange hair and a taste for Nile green evening dresses. She keeps an honest one-price house, sells no hard liquor, and permits no loud or vulgar talk in her house. Of her girls, some are fairly inactive due to age and infirmities, but Dora never puts them aside, although, as she says, some of them don't turn 3 tricks a month, but they go right on eating 3 meals a day. In a moment of local love, Dora named her place the Bear Flag Restaurant, and the stories are many of people who have gone in for a sandwich. There are normally 12 girls in the house, counting the old ones, a Greek cook, and a man who is known as a watchman, but who undertakes all manner of delicate and dangerous tasks. He stops fights, ejects drunks, soothes hysteria, cures headaches, and tends bar. He bandages cuts and bruises, passes the time of day with cops, and since a good half of the girls are Christian Scientists, reads aloud his share of science and health on a Sunday morning. His predecessor, being a less well-balanced man, came to an evil end, as shall be reported. But Alfred has triumphed over his environment and has brought his environment up with him. He knows what men should be there and what men shouldn't be there. He knows more about the home life of Monterey's citizens than anybody in town. Doc is the owner and operator of the Western Biological Laboratory. Doc is rather small, deceptively small, for he is wiry and very strong, and when passionate anger comes on him, he can be very fierce. He wears a beard, and his face is half Christ and half satyr, and his face tells the truth. It is said that he has helped many a girl out of one trouble and into another. Doc has the hands of a brain surgeon and a cool, warm mind. Doc tips his hat to dogs as he drives by, and the dogs look up and smile at him. He can kill anything for need, but he could not hurt even a feeling for pleasure. He has one great fear, that of getting his head wet, so that summer or winter he ordinarily wears a rain hat. He will wade into a tide pool up to his chest without feeling damp, but a drop of rainwater on his head makes him panicky. Over a period of years, Doc dug himself into Cannery Row to an extent not even he suspected. He became the fountain of philosophy and science and art. In the laboratory, the girls from Dora's heard the plain songs and Gregorian music for the first time. Li Chong listened while Li Po was read to him in English. Henri the painter heard for the first time the Book of the Dead and was so moved that he changed his medium. Henri had been painting with glue, iron rust, and colored chicken feathers, but he changed, and his next 4 paintings were done entirely with different kinds of nutshells. Doc would listen to any kind of nonsense and change it for you into a kind of wisdom. His mind had no horizon, and his sympathy had no warp. He could talk to children, telling them very profound things so that they understood.